Well, hello, fellow FlexRadio users. My name's Steve Adler, VK5SFA, and I thought I'd just do a short YouTube video just to show you an answer to a problem that has been vexing me for quite a period of time. Some of you people who use a FlexRadio remote may have had audio distortion on transmit, really manifesting itself in the digital modes where you have to use the DAX or the digital audio exchange. It could be WSJTX, or it could be the K9 DUR voice keyer and the like that need DAX enabled to move your audio from your PC at your home QTH or wherever you might be in the world to your remote site. And in my case, there was just audio distortion, which I would like to demonstrate and then show you how I came to finding and fixing it definitively. And I guess that's the most important thing. You know, I read on the community forum, there's just people who have talked about audio distortions with Flex and SmartSDR for Windows for a very long time. And in some cases, people have found it to be things like buffer bloat, which certainly Tim Ellis certainly talks about. It is an issue. DPCs, so latency within your computer. It could be your home LAN, WAN, or your router configuration. In my case, I actually thought it was a Windows update, perhaps, that came along and changed something. It could be the actual radio itself, firmware upgrades and the like. Just hard to tell. Could be SmartSDR for Windows, a bug being written in. I'm not suggesting that it was or it wasn't, but could be. It could be the LAN WAN configuration at your remote site, or router issues. RFI, just good old-fashioned radio frequency interference, getting back into things at the remote site. These things have to be worked through. It could be the ISP at your remote site, or your ISP at your home QTH or wherever you are in the world. Lots of things to consider and just really, really hard to track down. So what led me to the problem ultimately? I worked through that whole list, and what in actual fact led me to finding the issue. Ken Wells there and I were conversing quite a bit, and he was giving me a lot of helpful suggestions. Suddenly I thought it would be a really good idea to give him the credentials of my remote site and ask him to dial in. I think he's up in Canada, I think. Anyway, get him to dial in and try WSJTX and see if he could see the issue that I was facing. And I did send him a video of it. So he did that overnight, came back the next day and said, no issue at all. Now that was particularly helpful because that just about eliminated my remote site, the ISP, router configurations, LAN, WAN, radio, RF, you name it, just coming in from a different IP address or different ISP via the internet. So armed with that knowledge, I was given a tip by my nephew, and that was in actual fact to plug my PC, one of the PCs that was affected, directly into the fiber termination unit. So in other words, switch off my router. I didn't know you could do that, but you can. It's just Ethernet at the end of the day, and basically it was served up a public-facing IP address with no NAT. Problem still existed, so I could just about discount everything on my local area network at home. So that then led me to think, I wonder if it was my internet service provider in actual fact that was giving me all the grief. So I've taken a couple of videos here that I'm going to play back in a moment, and I'll show you the fault in action and then what happened after that. So I guess without further ado, let's have a look at the issue as it stands with packet loss. So I'll just get this going here. Here is a demonstration of ISP-A at my home QTH and ISP-B at my remote site. We'll start off with the K9 DUR voice keyer. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And as you can hear, quite a lot of distortion and appreciable packet loss. We'll now test WSJT-X. Just change over to the digital upper sideband mode. Here we go. And as you can see and hear, distortion and appreciable packet loss. Okay, so you saw in full Technicolor the issue. It should also be noted when you look at the next clip, you'll note that I'm transmitting into the transverter port. The FlexRadio's got a little dummy low termination on that, so RFI is not the issue. And this was all done over SmartLink too, I might add. So what we'll do now is I'll play you the next little clip. How this all came about was I deduced that maybe going to the internet service provider at my remote site, using the same provider at home would be better in that it all stays within their network, perhaps. It's hard to tell. You don't know what's going on. So internet service provider A was the problematic one. Internet service provider B is at the remote site. And here in Australia, our fibre optic termination points actually have 4 WAN ports on them. So speaking with ISP-B, they livened up another port for me and allowed me then just to transfer the WAN connection of my router to their service providing. So that's what happened. Anyway, without further ado, let's have a look and actually see what happened. And now a demonstration with ISP-B at my home QTH to ISP-B at my remote site. We'll start off with the K9 DUR keyer. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now we will use WSJT-X. And as you can see, no appreciable packet loss. Oh, there you go. Pretty conclusive. All I did in that test, there was a period of time in between, but all I did was move the Ethernet connection on the fibre termination box from WAN port 1 to WAN port 2 and rebooted the router. That's all. To pick up the different public-facing IP address. So I wonder how many users out there may have an issue like I had. I suspect that ISP-A doesn't quite know how to handle the real-time audio packets that FlexRadio uses, not tagging them properly and not applying perhaps the correct quality of service, and therefore introducing latency. That's my theory. I'll never know. I didn't want to go down the rabbit hole of trying to fix it. With my existing ISP, I just moved to another ISP, and now I can use WSJT-X, or I can use the K9 DUR voice keyer. And as a matter of fact, it even manifested itself on the inbuilt audio recorder within FlexRadio, where you're recording someone off air and then playing it back to them. Exactly the same problem. So I hope this issue has gone forever. I do hope you found this video enlightening. And if you've got this problem, maybe try another ISP and see if it actually helps. Anyway, I wish you all 73, and maybe we'll catch you on the air. Cheers for now.